quiet.
Welcome to the Powertrip podcast. Live, you are now tuned in to our Thursday evening chat with your host,
Charmaine.
and Saquon.
Hello, everyone.
What's happening, people?
We hope you are all having a wonderful night as usual.
Yes, we do.
To our returning guests, welcome back. And to all of those who are new, welcome to our channel. So every Thursday evening, we get together to discuss controversial topics surrounding family, community, and relationships. And we have three main goals. Our first goal is to strengthen communication skills within our community. Our second goal is to expand our perspective so that we can all gain a greater perspective. And our third and most important goal is that we want to continue to build exceptional families that will continue to uplift the world around us. So with that being said, we hope you guys are all well. Get comfy. Let's get ready to chat. We have an interesting write-in today, and we love to get your feedback, and we're going to give you ours. So, hey everyone. Hey Mom. Hey Camille Stir. And hey Aunt Chi Chi.
What's up, my G? What's up, Camille? What's up, Aunt Chi Chi? How you guys doing?
Yes. How's everyone's evening going? We hope you guys are all doing good. I'm excited for cooler weather here in Arizona. It's been pretty hot. All right, let's see.
It has. It seems like it's like coming back, like it's warming up.
Yeah, it's like up and down. Like sometimes it's hot, sometimes it gets a little bit cooler. Overall, it's hot.
Yes. For those of you that are here, how's your day going so far? We're almost at the end of the week.
Yes.
Hope the week has been treating you guys good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, while you guys type that, we are going to jump into today's conversation. We talked about, so this conversation, the topic is, as you guys seen, the neighbor's gift. So it's about this. We talked about gift giving actually on a previous podcast, and we were just talking about what happens if someone gives you a gift that you don't like, and what would you do?
Yeah, we did talk about that.
So this is a little different, this scenario that this lady is dealing with.
Yeah.
So let's see. Mommy says, thank the Creator, all is well. Amen. Ashe. Alrighty. So, all right. Camille says, it's going well. I'm glad to rest for the evening. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yes, that's always a plus.
Right.
Alrighty. So here it goes. Me, which is a female 33, and my husband, who's a male 37, moved into our home in a rural neighborhood 7 months ago. We love it here. Neighborhood is quiet. Neighbors are lovely and friendly, and we get along with almost everyone, especially our next door neighbor who's a single mother of two, a boy who's 13 and a girl who's 17. We see her daughter Chelsea out in the neighborhood often. She works as a babysitter for other neighbors and helps kids with activities in the neighborhood, and also does free cleaning service for the entire neighborhood. Her mom sometimes sends her to us to borrow stuff. Seeing how Chelsea and her mother are struggling to make ends meet, my husband and I do all we can to help. We both work and have decent salaries. Everything was going fine until 2 days ago when I bumped into Chelsea's mother at the local grocery store, and she greeted me. While we were having a small chat outside, she said she wanted to thank me and my husband for the gift we bought Chelsea for her birthday, and went on about how unnecessary it was and that we should have never bothered. I was puzzled. Yes, I knew Chelsea's birthday was days ago, and neither me nor my husband attended, but I knew nothing about sending her a gift, which was a $300 plus Saint Laurent bracelet. I was stunned when she told me that. I, of course, tried to act normal, but was boiling inside. I feel you, girl. We said goodbye, and I went home and checked if there were any purchases made with our joint account, but found nothing. I got confused at this point and waited for my husband to get home to explain to me about the gift that I didn't know about. He got home and I brought this up with him. He confirmed purchasing the bracelet and sending it to Chelsea as a gift for her birthday. I asked why didn't he tell me? He said since he used his fun money to pay for it and not our joint account, then he figured there was no need to tell me about it. I asked if he ever thought $300 was a lot to give to a 17-year-old, alone a neighbor. He said, I know how much our neighbor and her kids are struggling and that Chelsea probably doesn't have much nice stuff. So he figured a designer bracelet will make her brag in front of her friends for once. He emphasized feeling sorry for Chelsea and her mom and decided to do this nice gesture since she does have a good job keeping the neighborhood clean and helping other neighbors. I told him about how this made me feel upset and caught off guard when Chelsea's mom brought up the bracelet. I told him it wasn't cool that I found out about it via her and asked if he ever planned on telling me. And he got annoyed, saying, why do you think I should tell you about everything I spend my own money on? And went about how controlling I was becoming lately, and that he would have told me if he made the purchase via our joint account. But because this wasn't the case, then I shouldn't be mad. It's just money. Sorry. Okay, it's not about, okay, I shouldn't be mad. It's not just the money, it's the fact that he paid for a 300 plus bracelet for our neighbor's daughter, which is a lot in my opinion. Besides, I never received a bracelet from him that was as expensive as the one he got Chelsea. I brought it up again later in bed and he got angry, then apologized, saying he was sorry he didn't know I was this controlling, constantly trying to guilt him for spending his money on a nice gift for this struggling poor girl, then went out of the bedroom, basically telling me to grow up because I was acting jealous. I honestly don't know if I should stop discussing this with him, seeing how angry it makes him. Thing is, he's never acted like this before, and he's usually open and honest with me, especially when it comes to money and purchases. I feel like something is up with him, but can't really tell, and I can't help but feel confused and upset. Ooh, baby. Oh, man. So, yeah. What do you guys think in the comments below?
Start with what you think.
Me?
Yeah. Well, tell me what you think.
This is loaded. This is just a lot. So, first and foremost, I have a big thing about like when people start changing from their normal behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So, like towards the end of the email, she said that, you know, he's usually open and honest about purchases. He's never acted like this before.
Right.
And so that would raise a red flag for me, number one. Number two, I mean, he didn't tell me about it and just did this, you know, behind my back. And then number three, his anger. Those are all red flags for me. And, you know, I would hate to think my 35-year-old husband is sleeping with a 17-year-old girl. But it would make me suspicious, or it would just make me question what is going on. Why is the situation different?
Yeah.
As far as the gift that he gave her, I do think that's a bit much to give to his neighbor, especially because of the fact that, like, as your wife, if you've never given me this type of gift, and I understand like you wanting to, you know, just do something nice. I don't think the problem is that he gave a gift. I think the issue is he gave the gift without letting her know he was going to give a gift, number one. And then the amount that he spent on the gift, it's like they didn't even have a conversation about it or anything. And then knowing that she's never received something like that herself. So I wouldn't even say that it's necessarily a jealous thing like he's trying to accuse her of. But I would say that it's just it's a lot of red flags that would make you feel uncomfortable and question like why would you hide this?
Yeah.
Why do I have to find, like, I feel like I should never have to find out from a third party what my husband did
Right.
for them.
Right.
You
right,
know?
Right.
So yes.
I
Hey,
agree.
Boo Biz.
What's up, Janae? All right, so let's see here. Chichi says, this is a case of dishonesty, plain and simple. Something isn't right, as evidenced by his angry reaction to be questioned. Definitely, it would be suspicious.
Yes, yes. Hey, Annery.
What's up, Annery? Let's see. My G says, the husband needs better communication skills. Yes, it was his money, but he should have kept his wife in the loop. He's acting shady. Who is who is he? The neighborhood sugar daddy?
The neighborhood sugar daddy.
The neighborhood sugar daddy.
Yeah, that's what he's acting like.
Pretty much that's what he's acting like here. Well, kind of.
For the 17-year-old, he is.
Yeah. Shucks. So I feel like
sorry, baby.
Camille says, I would be suspicious as well. To clarify, the gift is essentially from him only to the 17-year-old. I don't think so.
From the 17-year-old's mom perspective, it was from both the husband and the wife.
Right. So I think
from the 17-year-old, we don't know.
I mean,
we don't know.
We don't know, but it sounds like at least maybe she thought that it was if she took that to her mom. I mean, or y'all going to the extent. I mean, it's possible. That's possible. But I don't want to run to the worst extent of what it could be.
Okay, go ahead. What's your
because it could also be he could be trying to aim to talk to the mom by impressing her with the gift that he given her daughter. In my opinion, based on because what is the husband there?
She's a single mom.
She's single mom, so he could be impressing her. So I don't know. You get what I'm saying? And then saying, "Oh, this is from me and my wife," but he over here by himself.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Spending his fun money.
Yeah, so it could be that. My mother says shenanigans.
Indeed.
Right. So I would be. I'm with Aunt Chichi here. It honestly, plain and simple. It's the case of dishonesty.
Right.
His anger could be a bit much. I mean, we know his anger could be a bit much. It would raise a little bit red flags for me, but I'm not going to say that it's always guilt because we know people like how your mom's saying they need better communication skills and they just don't know how to. They don't know how to handle somebody coming to them with something.
Yeah.
We know people like that. They not doing nothing wrong or nothing, but if you come to them with something, they're a bit defensive.
Yeah, but she said he's usually open and honest.
So right. So it is different because he's usually not like that. Yeah, so it's different.
Difference in behavior. Hey, Uncle Chris.
What's up, Uncle Chris?
Aunt Gigi says Uncle Chris is here. So my uncle
he thinks he's prepping the young girl.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's about the young girl. I don't think it's about the mom, and only because I just feel like if it was about the mom, that's where his focus would kind of be.
Right.
Now I understand because they both help. They said they both help the mom, as they feel bad for them. They're struggling, and they do a lot for others. So I get that, and I think as a team, we can go forward and we can help them.
True.
But once you start going and you're spending these expensive gifts and then not communicating about it, Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't even impress me with giving me the gift.
Right. If you're trying to impress the single mom.
Right. And I don't even think it's a problem that, about the price or nothing. I literally think that the bottom line issue is the fact that it wasn't spoken about. Because I mean, as far as certain gifts, we've given gifts that we probably wouldn't buy ourselves. You get what I'm saying? We have. We bought gifts for people that would have been cool for us, but we just wasn't buying it.
But have you personally bought someone a gift that is like, okay, so I feel like the price plays a role only because it's like, if you guys are like wealthy, right? Doing really well, and $300 is a drop in the bucket, then it's like, okay, cool.
Right.
That's like someone else's $50, $75.
Right.
But if $300 is kind of like, maybe that's a few months of your allowance or something, then I feel like it's like,
I mean, we don't know how much his.
I don't know. But the fact that he hasn't done something like that for his wife makes me question. Like, okay, maybe he hasn't bought his wife jewelry or stuff, and maybe he took her on trips. So maybe he has spent that amount on her. But from the way
but not in like a tangible thing.
Yeah, but from the way that she's, communicating in the email, it doesn't seem like he
has. Right.
So to me, I get what you're saying. It's not necessarily the price. However, I would be like, if you only got me like, your average things, and this was like the Saint Laurent bracelet is something that was like extravagant for us.
Yeah, I mean,
then and you got someone else that, especially a young girl.
Yeah, like I said, I think more of the issue is that they didn't speak about it because, like I said, if I spoke to you about it, the price is no longer an issue about what me and you do for you, what I do for you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you spoke to me about it, I'd be like, no, I think that's a little.
Okay, yeah, right. I mean, right. So then the gift wouldn't have happened if they wouldn't have never spoke. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think? Okay, I'll read a few, and then I have a question for you, honey.
So Aunt Chichi says, also the mom of the girl wasn't consulted about the gift. Clearly, she felt uncomfortable with the whole thing. You should never give such an expensive gift without asking the parent first. This is true. That's
a good point.
This is true. All right.
Yes.
Michelle says,
everybody on.
I'm just gonna start doing that for now. It's much easier. But yeah. So Michelle says, you want to help a struggling 17-year-old, help cover some school expenses, not put money into a gift you have not given your wife. Yeah, but if it goes to prepping the 17-year-old, that goes right there. School expenses is the same thing. That's more.
Not really, because because she's in high school. Number one, she's 17.
Oh, well, then she don't have no school expenses.
What is it? School trip, lunch money. Nah. But or even if you do say, okay, I'm going to give this to your mother, or we're going to do this and give this to your mother to help you start your college fund or something like that. But again, it needs to be a team decision, and then it's also not because. He said that, I gave her this gift because I want her to be able to go to school and show off and brag about it. So yeah, is she going to brag and say, yeah, my sugar daddy got me this bracelet?
She don't have to say that. She do not have to say
that.
She
doesn't have to say
it's the fact that you going that far with it. She doesn't really have to say that.
Okay, but if she's going to go to school, show it off and stuff, you don't know what she's saying, and we don't know the dynamics between the husband and her. And even if we took out the fact that maybe they're not doing anything, maybe he really thought this was thoughtful and this was appropriate. Maybe that was his thinking. But why, like, out of everything you want to help somebody with, you think a materialistic bracelet to help her show off in school in front of her friends is the perfect gift?
I mean, from what he said,
I didn't even see Mama wrote that.
From what he said, it was to make her feel good. They're a less fortunate family. He wanted her to be able to have something to brag about over some people. And I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that it's right. But I know people that, the kid never had good shoes. Somebody going to gift him probably a pair of Jordans. Like, you get what I'm saying? They could have gave him some Nikes, but they gave him Jordans. And they feel, you get what I'm saying?
Jordans are better than Nikes.
I mean, in the child's mind, brand perception.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? Brand perception or cost of something.
But like quality wise, that's what I meant. Not like brand, but just as I guess you saying, like being in the end, what's popular. Big.
Or being in the end or having something that is higher quality. Like, you get what I'm saying? That child, and I'm not going to say, let's say a man gave this boy a expensive pair of shoes. There are $300 pairs of shoes out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I still think it crosses the line when you don't. If you're in a relationship and you don't have a communication with someone else.
He crossed the line at the fact that her mother don't know and his wife don't know. Yes, that's true. That's I'm not taking that out. But we don't really know his true reasoning.
Yeah, that's the problem. And because he's getting defensive and angry instead of communicating his true reason, then it still leaves cause and room for
the only thing I would question. What's up, Dame?
Hey, Dame.
The only thing I will question, which is still kind of hard to necessarily question because it's their neighbor. You get what I'm saying? But it's like, well, how'd you have time to talk to him by yourself and receive a gift? But it's hard to say when it's a neighbor because I've been around plenty of my adult neighbors without my parents.
Yeah, but they weren't giving you gifts.
No, they weren't. But I'm just saying that was
you can see them without your parent being present.
Right.
Okay. Aunt Michelle says maybe the girl knows something on him and it's blackmail. The plot thickens. Mommy says also, how immature is he that he thought it was cute for the 17-year-old to stunt to her friends? As a 17-year-old friend, I would tell her he is after them panties and be aware. Yeah, well, you do have to tell, especially young girls, to keep their eyes open.
Right, be aware.
Especially when, older men, or any man, but older men are, showering them with gifts. And granted, we don't know if this is...
Right, you don't say that's the only option, like he after the panties, but you could just let them know that be aware, this is not regular.
Mama J says, not his job to prep her with expensive gifts. Grow up, meet a man who can wine and dine you with expensive gifts.
That's true.
Prep her with showing her how he treats his wife. Yes. And then Aunt Chichi says, yeah, Anne, that's so true. As an adult, what kind of values do you want to demonstrate to the younger generation coming up? He crossed a line. All right, Dame, we'll catch you up. So, long story short, there's a couple whose neighbor is a single mom and she has a 17-year-old daughter. The couple usually, they'll look out for them, let them borrow things because, they're struggling and not well off. And the teenage daughter, she does a lot around the neighborhood. She helps babysit. She cleans people's neighbors' yards. She does a lot. So for her birthday, the husband of the wife decided to gift her a $300 plus Saint Laurent bracelet. The wife was in the store shopping around, and the single mom ended up bumping up to her and saying, thank you for the gift. Plot twist, though, the wife didn't even know the husband bought the gift.
Right.
And they do have a joint banking account, but he also has like his own fund money account as well. And so he bought the gift from his fund money account and told the wife that there was no need for him to bring it to her because it was his own money. And so the wife feels some type of way, obviously, because she didn't know about it. And then he also became defensive and angry and started calling her controlling when she brought it up to him. And then she just feels like, this is not how he typically is when it comes to money. He's usually open, honest, and, is able to communicate easily about it. But now he's acting funny. So that kind of wraps that up. What you think?
Yeah, Dame. So it's a lot kind of happening.
Camille?
Oh, Camille says no more R. Kelly situations. My G says my grandmother told Auntie BB and not to stay away from old men that they have worms. Laugh out loud. We believed her too. Shaking my head. Dame says I don't like it. Right. None of us like it for the most part. I don't like it at all.
I was gonna say for the most part.
Yeah, we don't like it at all.
Yeah. I think there's too many boundaries crossed.
Right.
As stated, he didn't speak to his wife. He didn't speak to the mother of the daughter. Oh, and the mother, the single mom of that daughter, felt like the gift was unnecessary and it was too much as well. So he didn't speak to her before gifting her daughter that. And his anger that he's feeling and then and also that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen, all be wary of. when you're bringing something or telling someone how you feel, and they start trying to throw it back in your face and say that you're controlling, or, just try to put the blame back on you as if you're doing something wrong by just expressing yourself, that there's a problem with that as well. Because just by her saying, I just feel like, were you ever going to tell me? I don't really like that you did that without speaking to me first. And then he was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know how controlling you were going to be. And you're starting to be so controlling lately. I feel like that is like a telltale sign that something is going on. And it may not be with the 17-year-old girl, but something's going on with the husband. And I think this lady needs to try to get to the bottom of it. I would definitely say attempt to have another conversation, and really try to get to the root cause of like what's going on, and then also why he feels like she's being controlling.
Yeah, I think it should be a deeper conversation. I do think they need to converse a little bit more about it, and I guess just I think if he could get to the point of apologizing, that should, of understanding, I guess, the issue of him not saying anything. The anger part, like I said, we know that could be one thing, right? Maybe he's being defensive, right? And becoming angry. I do believe that based on some things that we talked about here on the podcast. He could be a bad communicator all around.
But typically he's not like that when it comes to just discussing money. So I don't know if I'd say all around, but
right. But I mean, and I guess we don't even know how many times these things happen. How often do you think there's a time where he bought something big and she had to question him about it? We don't even know that.
Yeah.
To say that, oh, this never happens. I mean, maybe she does ask him plenty of times, but then she should have known that it came out of his fund money if that happens already. If he did this before.
Yeah, well, I think that's the problem, is she doesn't feel like he's done this before, because typically he tells her about the purchases, even if it comes from the fund money account. So being that this was different behavior, it raised more flags for her.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is a new situation.
I'm saying the fact that he spent this amount of money from his fund money account,
right,
doesn't matter on what, and didn't bring it to her, maybe something new.
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's completely new. Like, so we don't even know how he would typically react to something like that. Right?
I don't think you get what I'm saying. I'm saying that from the way it sounded, and I'm just assuming, obviously,
right.
But I think typically if he makes big purchases, whether it's with his fund money account, I mean, obviously if it's with the joint bank account, he would tell her, even with his own money that she doesn't know about each swipe.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would tell her about the big expenditures.
Right.
But because this time he didn't say anything, it raised a flag.
Right. And what I'm saying is, how normal is it for her to have to go to him with a raised flag purchase of something that she found out he bought?
That's
you
what
get
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's not normal. They don't even know.
I know.
Therefore, we can't say that it's unusual for him to act this way. That's what I'm trying to say.
But the unusual part is that he didn't verbalize that he spent this money.
Right. That is all new. That's what I'm trying to say. So we don't know. He never bought nobody a $300 bracelet before.
Maybe he has. Who knows what he does on the low?
This is true. Man. This is true. We don't know. But as far as her finding out, it never happened for her to ask another time for us to know how he would have ever reacted for her questioning him about money that he spent out of his fund money.
Yeah, I don't care. Grow up, sir. Okay, she's asking you a question and she has every right to.
Yeah,
it's inappropriate. So I don't care if you're a bad communicator or not. You need to take responsibility for not telling your wife something.
No, this is true. But being a podcast where we want to help people with communication, you still have to leave room to know that everybody not liars. Some people literally don't know how to communicate.
Yeah, but that doesn't excuse you.
No, it doesn't excuse you, but what it is the reasoning is not the same. The reasoning for somebody lying is not the same for someone that does not know how to communicate.
Taquan always be trying to make excuse.
Is that not true?
You
though?
always be trying to justify for this.
Is that
man.
not true though?
You always be trying to take up for the men. It's true. People like we always talk about, like, not everyone has the best communication styles. And I definitely understand that. And we're only getting one version of the story, which is from the wife's perspective. So even though it made it seem like she went to him and just had a conversation, because it's also something written, we don't know if she went to him angrily and, accusing him, and she's just writing the little part that sounds good, So we don't know the full extent of how it all went down. But what we do know is he, made some wrong choices.
Yeah.
And they need to communicate in a way where they're both being open and honest, and he can express really why he did it.
Not communicating what Aunt Chichi says, not communicating well does not equal being deceitful.
Right. Don't be making no excuses for these men out here.
So
he's wrong.
So the part of him
and
not saying
everybody else.
Okay. Dame says, as an adult, communicate with adults. Creepy. Right? This is true.
Oh, please. You've been team guy.
I'm not saying he needs to be talking to her.
No, you're right, guys.
Aunt Chichi says, and just imagine what an awkward and embarrassing situation to put his wife in, right? Being completely clueless like that, very thoughtless. I mean, shoot, I felt clueless about smaller gifts.
No, you felt clueless because your butt sits
wasn't
there
paying
and,
attention.
Yeah.
All right, but Dame says he's Saint Laurent though. Yeah, he didn't have to go that far. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't, not communicating well does not equal being deceitful. I'm talking about their actual interaction. His deceit happened before.
Yeah, but that's the thing. A lot of times when people get caught, because obviously he knows good and darn well that's something he should have discussed with his wife. Well, you're gifting another woman a gift. Right. And a 17-year-old young lady at that, matter, a gift. You know good and darn well what's appropriate or not. You're too old to not know. So the fact that you hid it from your wife, you were being a little sneaky, and you didn't think, because you guys missed the birthday party, because she said they weren't there because they missed the birthday party. He probably didn't think that it would come up. So
all right. Can we say it was that hidden though, if she just asked him one time and he's just like, oh yeah?
Well, obviously he has to say yeah. He got busted. The mother said, thank you for the gift.
I mean,
what you gonna say? No, it wasn't for me. She's like, no. Susie said you brought it to her.
Okay.
What, you gonna lie now?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can say about that.
Yeah, don't try. Listen, stop trying to.
I'm just asking the question.
Around for this man. He's toast. No, I'm kidding. But he's, and I get what you're saying, that we shouldn't just jump to, oh, he's trying to sleep with her. Oh, he's trying to groom her. Oh, he's, trying to take advantage of this young girl. But because of the society we live in, because of how some men operate, that is not far-fetched idea.
I'm not saying, okay, idea. No, I'm not saying it's far-fetched at all. Go ahead.
So it's like, yes, that is one option. Another option could really be, somewhere in his mind, he thought that was appropriate and he thought he was doing a nice gesture. However, the thing that makes that idea harder to believe is the fact that it was a secret. If you really thought that, like, honey, let's do something. I really want to do something nice for her. Like, she's busting her butt, babysitting. She's cleaning up for the neighbors. She does so much. I really just want to make her, feel special.
Right.
What do you think about this? If you come to me with that, I'm more understanding than you going behind my back, because then that means there's something a little off in what you're doing, in my opinion.
I believe it. I mean, I'm not saying that I think you going back to this fact that I feel like I know he should have said something.
Yeah, but so what do you keep going for then?
But
If
I
that's
mean,
the bottom
I'm
line.
talking about the communication after, like everything afterwards.
What about it?
I just don't think that his reactions don't lead to the worst. I mean, you said it, but that's why I'm like, I feel like when we having these conversations, when we're talking to people, and even if, let's say, we're talking to our kids at some point, we don't need to go to always the worst situation of what things could be. We need to be able to communicate with options, because at the end of the day, I look at it like this. If let's say how a white person that's not necessarily the most cultured, right? And they see somebody that they quote unquote that in a movie or some whatever, I guess, look like a thug, right? Everybody is not a thug, so they're gonna go and tell their child that, oh, this situation, da 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 da, that's a thug, or this standing third, this showing signs of a thug. Well, maybe they just showing signs of an urban black person. You not aware of it. Maybe you should give the options, saying keep your eyes open, like how we did today. Yeah, that's all I'm saying when we having this conversation. Because maybe your mind automatically go there. I'm not saying that these things aren't possible, or the R. Kelly situation. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but we're not going to say that nobody ever gives someone an expensive gift without thinking about these things.
Not in the manner that he did. That is the problem. I'm not, like I said, if he would have had a conversation and said, I really just want to do something nice for her. Okay. But you went behind your wife's back. That action had thought behind it. He didn't just say, oh, I'm going to spend this $300, give her this gift, and everything is cool. Like I do not believe he just was clear conscious, thought everything would be fine.
Okay. And just like I said before, we all just saying, so we all just, everybody agree that it's just simply for the daughter. We don't know that people do these things to aim at the wives or nothing like that, a single mother. I mean, I'm not saying that this is possible. This is not possible. But there's more options to where this could be
trying
going.
To ride hard for this man. Who you gifting?
I'm not gifting nobody.
No, but what I'm saying is, no, it wasn't for the mother. You would have got the daughter. You would have got. Listen, let me tell you, Playboy handbook. Okay, you would have got the daughter a little cute trinket, a little something nice, little something small. You would have saved the big gift for the mom. You don't impress me by giving. You don't know
how much money they got.
You don't impress me by giving my daughter a $300 gift. I need to see a little bling bling on my thing.
We don't know where he at in this process.
Anyway, you're just doing too much.
I'm just saying.
Obviously, Saquon's a little diluted in his mind too.
But okay, the part that I'm confused is how you just picking a short path of what things can be.
I didn't say short path. I gave options. You just don't like the negative option that we're all kind of on the same vibe with, and you're a little off about.
I mean, I guess so. I guess. Because I don't agree that everybody end up on that.
No one said everybody does. They just said this is what could happen. Camille says he knows how to communicate. He never apologized, which to me indicates that he knew what he was doing and intentionally kept it from her. Amen. It definitely makes sense to me, Camille. Saquani, maybe not too much. Sylvester says
he could apologize and been lying.
Sylvester says he bought it for her without telling his wife on purpose. Amen. Underline on purpose. He knows how his wife would feel if she found out, but he could have good intentions. Very true. Just like I said. Saquon, I don't know why he wants to keep going back and forth.
No, because you said, but what you're saying is the first part and not, but he could have good intentions.
I did say he could have good intentions.
What?
I said he could, somewhere in his mind, think that was acceptable. But the issue lies in the part that makes it less believable is the fact that he didn't say it to his wife. If he would have came to his wife first, you play back the tape if you need to, buddy. If he would have came to his wife first and said that, it would have made her feel more comfortable and not just, jump to conclusions or whatever. But the fact that he went behind her back makes that idea less easier to believe. Because it's like, if it's not a big deal, if you really just want to do something nice to somebody, why not discuss it with me?
I mean, I get what you're saying. I just feel like I mean, like, okay, so my mom says, what if the wife gave oh, sorry. My wife said my mother said, what if the wife gave a 17-year-old boy a gift and he didn't know? It would definitely be a problem. He probably have a problem in it. I mean, so I mean, I'm thinking about myself. If you went and gave somebody some money, which you would do, and it would be a higher amount than what I would probably agree to it. And I don't think that it matters what the sex is at
but
all.
I would tell you
after
when I do. Yeah, but
right. Way after.
You wouldn't be surprised. They wouldn't come to you and be like, "Oh, Saquon, thanks, my mans."
I mean, it depends on how fast it happened.
They won't see you before me.
What? But you're not gonna just come home and just say that was the highlight of your day.
Hun, yes, I would. You know, I wouldn't say it's the highlight, but I'd be like, hun.
At some point.
No, I would come home just like when I gave that woman that money. And I tell you right away, because I know you're a little more cheap in the pockets than I am.
I am a little cheap in the pockets when it comes to giving people stuff. That's why you ain't got to worry about me gifting nothing like that. Chichi says,
see what I deal with, y'all? Something's wrong with him.
Chichi says, Sylvester High. I think if he did have good intentions, he would have been upfront about the whole thing. The wife wouldn't have had to find out this roundabout embarrassing way.
And I think that's the bottom line. Saquon wants to go towards like the next thing, and I get, yes, be open-minded. Don't just assume the worst in people. We don't know them. It could be you want to play devil's advocate. Fine, I get it. However, it's just the matter of fact. It's just like the not saying it. And then for me, it's also the anger. It's just these are signs that are saying it's a little bit more than just good intent.
Yeah.
That's all. But I do, you can leave the floor open.
Yeah.
You can leave the floor open to,
My G says, my beautiful Charmaine gives $20 to the homeless woman. My G, my wife has a bigger heart than $20. Just so you know. Just so you know.
But I have. And and that's just me. And I understand you're different. Like you help people in other ways.
Right.
I'm a giver. So that's what I do. But I'll tell you, and I'll be like, hun, I know you wouldn't like this too much.
If you feeling like I'm not gonna like it, then you eventually gonna tell me.
I tell you right away. Stop saying eventually.
It gotta play on your heart.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't. Not for me.
How fast you gonna tell me?
Anyway, hey, Uncle Mark.
What's up, Uncle Mark?
Just being
it is. It's how fast you gonna tell me.
Read all about it. Mommy said she was
being nice. Laugh out loud. Yeah, too nice. $20 is way under the budget. My mother says, would it be the same thing if he gifted their daughter and she didn't know?
Interesting.
Would it be the same
like
thing?
If they had a child, well, they do have children together, and if he gave his daughter the 300 plus Saint Laurent bracelet and the mom didn't know?
I mean, I think it would be completely different.
I do think it would be different because it's like that's your child. Mommy said ballin'. Because that's your child, so you wouldn't necessarily assume anything like fishy or funky's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it just come back to the same question. How come I didn't know?
Thank you. That's what I would say. Hun, you trying to show up? You trying to one up me or something?
Yeah, but then see, balling. If somebody balling like that, you get what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to think about like I'll be honest with you. If
she said they make decent salary. She didn't say they was balling. But go ahead.
If you could give me $100,000 more a year, my daughter or my child might have some jewelry that I just seen it.
Okay, but I'm gonna know about it, and
you might know it when you seen it because it might not by then. That $300 didn't feel the same.
Yeah, but we also have a limit that if we spend over this amount, we talk with each other.
By the time we 100,000 more up, that ain't the limit.
Okay, and you also giving me gifts like that too.
Yeah, but what if you not interested in certain stuff that I might get them? You get what I'm saying? Let's say, I mean, I don't know right now off the top of my head, but it's certain things that you might not be interested in that child would be interested in.
Okay, but you can still let me know.
Like if sneakers, for instance. If my child end up being into sneakers, I know you're not into sneakers at all.
Yeah, you can still let me know.
Oh no, of course, yeah. That's like I said, it's still no. But like I said, if that's just the thing, you might not always know.
I mean, you may not always know right away, but I don't know.
That's like you.
No secrets. I agree. Bottom line, Mama J said it. No secrets should be kept.
That's
Hi,
true.
Aunt Marie.
Hey, Aunt Marie.
Glad you got on.
Yes.
Uncle Mark says you never know who you were giving to. It might be a blessing for both of you. Amen.
Uncle Mark. As a matter of fact, that's the right person that we have in this chat. Uncle Mark. Maybe it's still pushing. Maybe it's still pushing the line. They didn't
hear the story.
All right, so Uncle Mark, the story is that
and Aunt Marie.
Uncle Mark and Aunt Marie, anyone that's new here, first of all, before we get into this, if you can and you're enjoying the conversation right now, can you please give us a like and a thumbs up if you're on Facebook or anything, please,
or YouTube,
but anyway, if you're new, the story is that husband lives next door to this struggling family, right? Single mom and a couple kids, if I'm correct. And 17-year-old daughter in the house. Basically, the man gifts the 17-year-old daughter a $300 Saint Laurent bracelet. Nobody knows. When his wife
doesn't know. Nobody knows. And the mother
didn't know at the time, I don't think.
Yes.
But the mom of the child eventually found out. But while the wife is out grocery shopping, she runs into her neighbor and she comes to her and say, hey, she wanted to thank her for the $300 bracelet.
Right.
This is when the wife finds out about the bracelet. Right. So she's shocked, she's surprised, she's angry, she's upset that he didn't share. She's upset that he didn't say anything. She gets home, confronts him about it. He says, yeah, he bought it, but now he's upset. He thinks he calls her controlling because it was out of his fun money, not their money.
It wasn't from their joint account. It was from his own little fun money account. So he felt like he didn't need to tell her about it.
Right. So now it's just a bind. They're upset. He's upset. She's upset. Am I missing anything?
You're usually a better storyteller, like detail wise.
Right.
No, that's the gist of it. So is it appropriate that he gave the neighbor's daughter, 17-year-old daughter, a $300+ gift without first discussing it with his wife? And then also, I was going to ask you this earlier, but is it ever appropriate for a man to gift a child something like that? Like, okay, I could see, other types of gifts and things like that, but jewelry in that manner.
I believe that it depends on who the child is and your relationship with them. And it's a lot that actually kind of plays into that. Because, I mean,
I agree, because it could be your goddaughter.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I've received jewelry from people for gifts before. I could see us gifting. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. I mean, we have gifted our niece jewelry.
Right. So Uncle Mark says that it's wrong and it's not appropriate not to tell your spouse. Right. It is not appropriate to not tell your spouse. Do you think that he was wrong by giving this 17-year-old girl something that expensive?
And the wife has never received that type of gift from him. So she says.
By saying that even if it's appropriate, he shouldn't do it because it could be misconstrued.
Right. Well, you should have got the hint when we misconstrued it.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. I know. Sylvester says, wait, the girl lied and told her mom that his wife gave it to her. So now that's suspect.
So the girl said that both, I guess, the couple gave it to her.
Right.
And see, that's where I'm like, it's a little suspect too, because obviously the husband had to present it to the wife or to the girl. And he could have said, this is from my wife and I, we just want to say happy birthday. Yeah. He could have.
Because they are neighbors. We don't know.
Did he really?
Right. We don't know how they interacting at all.
Right. So, but when the mom confronted or not confronted, when the mom approached the wife, she said, "Thank you guys for the gift. It was unnecessary and a bit much, but thank you." So I do feel like it is interesting that the husband just gave it directly to the daughter.
Yeah, and if he's prepping her, this 17-year-old girl is nowhere near being prepped because she went right back to her mother's. It wasn't a secret.
Well, it's still, so see,
you don't
honey.
think so? You don't
honey,
think she would?
Ye of little faith.
You don't think that she would know that if this is what it is, maybe I should keep this a secret?
But if she said it's from both of them, because first of all, she's walking around with some bling bling playing.
So you think she needed to say something?
She had to say something.
If
her mom's gonna be like, "Hold on, sugar."
If he didn't tell her that, you think she might have lied and said that so she could walk around wearing it?
Right, because you can't just walk around like people know when things are expensive. There ain't no knockoff. The Y, the V, the E, the S, everything's there. Oh no. So she had to say something. And I'm not even gonna say like I said, the guy could have said, "This is from my wife and I." So she could have really said, "Oh yeah, this is from our neighbors."
Right.
But if, God forbid, there is something going on between the 17-year-old and the husband, she would also lie and say, she's not just going to say, "Oh yeah, Danny gave this to me."
True. I mean, yeah,
the mom would probably blow a gasket.
This is true. That's exactly probably how it would be. Uncle Mark says the girl could take it the wrong way. She might think the man's coming on to her.
And that's very true too.
Yeah.
So even if he did say, "Oh, I just want to get you a birthday gift," and he didn't try anything yet, like Uncle Chris said, he could be prepping. She may in her head be like, "Oh, he wants me."
Yeah.
Like this is pricey.
Yeah, and she could be the one to, from there, if she took it the wrong way,
right,
to start being
a little bit more
promiscuous or whatever in search for more.
I don't say promiscuous, but yeah, she could start flirting and trying to test the waters, because she may not just jump and sleep with him.
Being a little scandalous.
Yeah, because that's a married man and you too young, little lady.
Right.
Let's see. Uncle Mark also says
the mom would wonder why a grown man would give this expensive gift.
Right. So that's why, hence, she said it's from the wife and the husband.
Right. Without her knowledge at all.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle says, "Let me tell you about youngins. She wore the bracelet and forgot to take it off before she got home, and mom saw it. So she had to tell her where she got it."
And that could be true too.
Yeah, that could be true.
So it's a lot.
I wonder how long it went on.
Right. When did she find out? I think they said that the birthday was the week before or something. I think they said in there.
Oh, so it's not that long before.
So it wasn't that long before the bracelet was discovered.
Right.
The biggest issue, though, kind of like to sum it all up, biggest issue is just lack of communication. He's hiding things.
Yeah.
It is a little inappropriate. Aunt Chichi mentioned this, to give that type of gift to, a minor without even discussing it with their own mother,
right,
who felt like it was a bit much. Not telling your wife, and then also kind of getting defensive. To your point, where people communicate or have a lack of effective communication, it's like, okay, that may be true. However, it's like, you honestly have to work on it and see it from the other person's lens and perspective. Because like Mama J said, if it was the other way around and the mom was gifting this to a young boy, I think, he would have some suspicions himself.
Yeah, or it's that. And even if something, which happens in relationships, even if something is cool and dandy with you, it might not be cool and dandy with me.
Exactly.
So, maybe we have to compromise.
Right. And that's why, go ahead, baby.
Oh, and you just have to, like you said already, you have to kind of be open to hearing me, to understand that bothered me.
Right.
It's not about you, but go ahead. Sorry.
He is going.
Oh, please. Go ahead.
And hence, that's why communication before the act is always ideal.
Right.
Now, when you say I give money to the homeless people out of my fund money.
You do.
I haven't in a while, actually. I haven't been out.
Because you haven't been out, and it's like COVID. I feel like if COVID never happened, we'd probably be maybe, not too much, but By now, $500 out the pocket.
I don't know.
You got to think
It's
about the
whatever's
whole
on my
year
heart.
and everything. I'm just saying over the time.
Yeah, it's whatever's on my heart. And honestly, I tell him after.
Let's see here. Uncle Mark says.
Oh, I think we read that one.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I read that one. Okay.
Uncle Mark says she probably could be looking for more gifts. And remember, they didn't have nothing. Right.
Oh yeah, the family. Mm-hmm.
That's a big part, that they didn't have anything.
Right. So, what advice would you guys give the wife? Let's wrap it up there. What advice would you give the wife in this situation? Because she's wondering, should she keep bringing it up? What should she do?
If I was the wife, I wouldn't keep bringing it up, but I'll be watching now. You know what I'm saying?
High alert.
Yeah, I'm more on alert. Because I would be questioning if you having more contact with this 17-year-old than I'm aware of. You understand what I'm saying? When we going over here talking, you know what I'm saying, to the single mom, what you looking at? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's things like that that I would be kind of more paying attention to from here on out. You know, I'm not going to sit here and keep, like, especially if somebody lying. You get what I'm saying? We ain't about to sit here and keep going through this over and over and over again. You lying, you lying, anywhere. Right? We really not getting anywhere at all. So unfortunately for their situation, I think that if this is a problem, then they're going to have to bring this. It's going to come up again, and it has to be settled then with evidence, and stopping it right in this track.
Okay. All right. I definitely agree with the fact that I would be more so on high alert and more conscious and observant of what's going on. And I would have another conversation though, because it would sit on my heart, and I'm one who goes off their emotions. So if I'm not feeling it, like, we're not about to be lovey-dovey, we're not about to be smoochy-woochy, like, and we're very affectionate, you and I. So you're going to know the difference. You're going to feel like it's me. So I would have to just sit down, have another conversation. And if she did come at him, because she didn't say she came at him angrily or anything like that, but if she did, I would try to come and say, you know, honey, I really just want to have an open, honest discussion. Something's not sitting right with me. And I know you said you just did it for kindness, but I really don't understand why you didn't discuss it with me first. You know, we're a team. We always tell each other everything. So for you not to do this, it just really makes me feel uncomfortable. And I just, you know, I'm here with an open ear. I'm not trying to accuse you of anything. I just want you to be honest with me. And I just want to know what your intentions were, and why did you feel uncomfortable telling me?
Right.
And then why you keep calling me controlling? Because I'm not. But
we don't know how many times she done came to him about something.
Right. But I would definitely try to have just at least one more conversation. And then from there, depending on his response and where that goes, you know, just move forward from there. And if he can open up, be honest or whatever, then great. We can move forward and work on whatever needs to be worked on. And if I still feel like he's lying, then, well, it's going to be tough because I'm going to have a attitude.
You sure will.
Uncle Mark says, don't be naive.
My mom says, advice to the wife, keep your eyes open. It's not a one-time thing, and maybe not even just one person. That's true. Trust you will, it don't lie. And my mother says, and no man, you my sweet daughter-in-law would not be saying it that nicely.
The first few times it wouldn't be that nice, but after I calm down, get in my zen mood, and then I approach a week or so later.
I think it would be hard for a woman probably to come to you calm like that though, with, you know, some type of assumption in her head.
Yeah, and that's the hard part is it's just like, and that's the thing. It's like when you make decisions that break trust, it's hard for the other person not to assume kind of the worst and the negative side of it. So that's just makes it tough. And especially if you're not with someone who's willing to look at it from your view and from your lens, it makes it even harder, because there are certain situations where people really do things out of the kindness of their heart or innocently and don't see anything wrong with it, but their partner does.
Right.
And so no one wants to feel like they're being accused of anything. No one wants to feel like they're being attacked. So I do get where you're saying, like, where defense could come into play, and not non-effective communication comes into play. But it's like you have to understand, like, this sounds crazy, sir. You got to talk to your friends something. You need to explain this to a few people so that everybody can tell you, nah, man, you tripping.
Shouldn't have did it.
You tripping.
Shouldn't have did it.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, with that being said, let's see. Aunt Marie says it's best to discuss before a fire break out.
Right.
Listen, the bombs are
going off.
Yeah.
So, that was one little topic that we had. Do you want to touch on the other one real quick?
We're at an hour, so no. But, okay. Well, let the people vote. Do you guys want to stay on just for a little bit longer, or do you want us to save it for next week?
What was it about?
It's about responsibility. So it's a topic that our cousins gave us. Shout out to you, Booby and Sylvester, about responsibility. But we can save it for next time. We were going to do it at the end of this conversation, but this conversation was so juicy and just great. We kept going. So Mama J, 1 vote for next week. But yeah, so we can discuss it next week at the beginning, and then we have another good email.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So with that being said, we only got 1 vote.
Well, with that being said, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us this evening for Thursday evening chat.
Mm-hmm.
Camille says next week.
Everybody. All the votes came in.
She says next week. Marie says next week. So we will be doing it next week.
Yes, indeed. So thank you guys for joining us. Please make sure that you like like on Facebook, like on YouTube, subscribe to the channel if you have not. If you guys have any situations that you want us to discuss, any topics, feel free to write it in the comments, or if you want it to be anonymous, you can email us at
the Powertrip Podcast at gmail.com.
Yes.
You set the Instagram?
Nope.
Or you can hit us up on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, please, and thank you, at the Powertrip Podcast. Also, we're on Facebook. You can go ahead and like us on Facebook if you haven't already.
Yes.
Once again, if you have not, please like this video.
Yes.
Give us a thumbs up if you're on Facebook. Subscribe if you haven't on YouTube. And I think that's it. I hope you guys have a good night.
All right. Good night, Papa J. Good night, Mama J. Good night, Aunt Michelle.
Good night, Tanya.
Good night, Aunt Tanya.
Good night, Tanya. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. We love you guys so much. And thank you, as always, for rocking with us.
Enjoy and have a safe weekend, everybody.
Yes.